Yeah, this is Sean Cryise, the most overlooked, underrated, and doubted independent professional wrestler there is. And I'm drinking at Moe's, and you should be too.
This is Drinkin at Njpw, where we talk about the pros of pro wrestling in the Midwest while sipping on some brews with blessed beers and wrestling. That's my scene. Death matches and lucha libre, it's also mean. I'm a straight up smart goofball, not no kiss ass. I stand tall when it comes to wrestling. I'm the king. I know every move, every fling. Get ready for a wild time with Drinkin at Moe's, where we don't quit. Drinkin at Moe's, that's where it's at, like a power bomb. We hit hard, never flat. Fucking right, we're living the dream. Talking about wrestling, always a scream.
You know, I've always said here at Drinkinatmos, just because it says drinking at Moe's does not mean it has to be alcoholic. So I'm happy to say Drinking at Moe's is sponsored by Prince Nana Coffee. The exact same guy you see every week on Dynamite, on Collision. Yes, he has his own coffee, and it's freaking delicious. They don't even roast those beans until you've placed your order. And you might be telling me, hey, Big Mo, I'm more of a tea guy. They got you covered there too. Use the referral link in the description of this video. And let's get you dancing like Prince Nana with Prince
Wait a
Nana
minute,
Coffee.
who's they? Isn't that your setup?
Oh yeah, no, this is a setup here. I'm rather proud of it. Rather
Nice.
proud of it. I got some great stuff. But welcome, Drinking at Moe's, everybody. This is Big Mo. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff that everybody always says, because YouTube's algorithm is a pain in the ass. We're most places to find the audio podcast too. I'm excited to have with me Sean Cryise. How you doing?
Man, I am fantastic, Mo. How are you? I feel like I should be drinking something too. I got my Michael Myers cup here, but there's nothing in it. I can pretend though.
No, yeah, no. Like I told you before we started, whenever somebody brings me something like beer from my favorite pro wrestler ever,
Absolutely. He's your favorite?
oh, all time. Like literally, I kid you not, I don't get starstruck too easily. But if I ever actually got to meet him, I don't know if I'd be able to get a word out.
I'm sure. So are we talking stunning Steve Austin, or are we talking just after he became Stone Cold?
Well, I'll remember when it comes to my fandom of him, watching back, yeah, it's all of it.
Okay.
But my first core memories of him and actually being able to remember stuff was probably the Stone Cold era.
Of course. Of course.
But yeah, no, watching back, no, I'm a fan of all of it.
Good deal.
Especially, I love his story of his chain that he got from Pillman and how he's always wearing it.
I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, no, there's well, I don't know how often he actually wears it now, but I know if you look back on some of his stuff, Pillman gave him this gold chain from back during the Hollywood Blonde days,
right?
And then he always kept it with him. And during some matches, I know you can see it where walking to the ring with the vest and stuff, and he has that gold chain.
Yeah, that's the gold chain. Okay, I have seen that chain before, but I didn't notice that was Pillman's. That's really cool.
Yeah, I've heard that story, and there's some parallels with different parts of his career with how Paul Heyman convinced him to go to ECW.
Oh yeah, that was so great. His little short stint in ECW.
Oh yeah,
the promo and all. Yeah, man, that was good stuff.
But I remember watching the documentary where Heyman explained that how he did, and then the opportunity came up for. You had asked me before recording about some of my favorite episodes that I've done, and damn near 400 as of this recording. But Jake Christ.
Oh yeah.
I had him on very shortly after the video of him burning the IWA Mid-South belt. And literally the way I asked about him coming on was literally much like how Heyman convinced Stone Cold to go to ECW. And I was just like, you got a grievance. I got a show.
I mean, that's how it works.
Oh, yeah.
Give me a platform.
But one thing that I like to start off with everybody with is what got you started as a fan, and then what got you making the leap into the business. This is probably one of the only stereotypical questions that I ask.
I never get tired of answering questions. Let's see. Well, see, I was born and raised in North Carolina. That's where I am now, and which is funny because it's Horseman country, Flair country, WCW, NWA territory. Well, we didn't have cable, so all I watched was WWF. And I'll be honest, it's funny to say it, but I was a Warrior guy. But of course, that was before I got into the business and learned all that stuff, right? So Warrior all the way. Just, he grabbed me. The crazy promos and the energy and the colors, and it was like you could not be a Warrior guy.
Oh yeah, it was even for me. I wasn't exactly a Warrior guy, but it was hard not to be drawn to the guy.
Right. Of course, Hogan. I mean, Hogan's Hogan. You can say what you want to about anything outside of wrestling or anything in wrestling, him holding people down, whatever. Without Hogan, we wouldn't be here. Let's just be honest. Let's just. Anybody who says any different, they're lying to themselves. Of course, I was drawn to Hogan. Say your prayers and eat your vitamins, and yeah, it was great. He had the cartoon and all that stuff. Macho Man was another one who was very colorful. The promos.
Going to the tag team side of things, because I'm also a bit of a tag team fanatic. The Road Warriors during those days.
I was going to say, yeah, absolutely.
Man, those guys. I don't know, the little kid in me seeing the spiked shoulder pads and stuff. I was that's the coolest thing ever.
I even like Demolition. I mean, they were kind of a knockoff, but still pretty cool. Kiss. It was like Kiss and the Road Warriors together, right? The Kiss Warriors.
Oh
yeah. But yeah, I watched it. I watched it all the way up until Undertaker came in the picture, and I want to say it was him and Warrior were having their feud where he put Warrior in the casket, and we thought he was suffocating. And I was a kid, I believed it. So
yeah.
I think that terrified me to the point was I can't watch this anymore, right? So I got out of it. I mean, I did. I don't even know what year that would have been. But
somewhere in the 90s, somewhere I want to say early 90s.
Yeah, it would have been early 90s because I was born in 81. So yeah, I was probably between 10 and 12, something like that. So then when we did get cable, which was 96, 97 maybe. So I got into it at the best time possible. The first thing I ever saw in WCW was when Diamond Dallas Page, who's one of my all-time favorites. You talk about a story. The guy started when he was later in life, and I mean, I get it. He's got a good physique, and he had connections in business, but still, he went and took his shot, and he was one of the top guys. I remember going to school, and everybody was wearing DDP shirts. It was either DDP, Austin,
Diamond Cutter symbols,
NWA. Oh my God, are you kidding me? The Diamond Cutter is still the best. I mean, RKO, you can say what you want to. Diamond Cutter is where it's at.
Oh yeah,
that's my opinion. And when he hit on Eddie Guerrero, best ever. So DDP had just won the Battle Bowl, and somebody stole his ring. That was right after that was when Steen came in with the black and white face paint. Outsiders came in. I got in at the perfect time.
Oh yeah.
On WWF, you had Austin, The Rock, Mankind, Kane, all those guys kind of coming in. So yeah, I fell out of it for a while, and then I got into it. As far as transitioning into the business, I'm going to use a dirty word which I don't honestly think is as dirty as it used to be, but backyard.
No, with the amount of episodes I've done, the amount of people that's where they ended up getting their actual start, and not the I guess official going into a training school or whatever,
right?
But their air quotes actual start backyard. More time, I've lost count.
Of course. And we went further than that. So we started where, if somebody's parents were going to be out of town, We would go in the house, take out all the furniture, put it in the backyard, whatever, put mattresses down, shoot little videos. You know, we were the Undertaker, we were Stone Cold, we were Triple H. And then at my house, me and a buddy of mine decided we're going to build a ring. We had no idea what we were doing, but we got all the parts. We went and got poles from the scrapyard. We used garden hose with steel cable through them. We spent a lot of money on that thing. We had real deal turnbuckles. The only thing we went wrong on was, so we had plywood down, but then we decided, hey, let's put tires under the plywood because they bounce, right? No, just makes it solid. So that's what I learned to bump in, which we didn't know what we were doing. We just did what we did on TV, you know. So a bunch of us, we'd go out there and we, right after high school, we got, you know, into all that, doing shows in the backyard, and we'd hand out flyers. I mean, we promoted. People would come watch us. And so, like, this random dude comes pulling up one night, and he's a little skinny guy, gets out, looks like Gumby, and basically like Gumby on crack, if I'm being honest. And he comes up and he's like, "Hey boys, I got this wrestling event here in town in a week. You want to be on it?" I mean, honestly, our first, you know, that should have been our first red flag, was like, this dude's coming up asking a bunch of kids. I mean, I was like, I don't know, 18 or 19 at the time. I was a buck 30, soaking wet with a brick in my pocket. My friends weren't in much better shape, to be honest. And we were like, yeah, you know, and then he was like, "I can't pay you," of course. We didn't care. We were living the dream, brother, you know.
Yeah.
So first match I ever had was in my hometown. There were 5 people there. He drew 5 people. 3 of them came with us. Right? So, and of course, you know, it was a hardcore match because me and my buddies like to beat the shit out of each other with trash can lids. I got a scar on my right shin to this day where I had a friend of mine in the corner put a stop sign on him. I took off running, you know, corner to corner like I was going to drop kick it, and he pussed out and he threw it like a frisbee, and it bounced off my shin.
Oh, jeez.
Well, not the first time I ever got stitches. First time I remember getting stitches. That was a fun night. So fast forward, we do the match. He loved it. It was great. We did, I think, 1 or 2 more shows for him. Horrible promoter, horrible person, if I'm being honest. Him and his whole jacked up family. And we decided, you know what? We can do this on our own. You know, a bunch of arrogant, egotistical kids, whatever. We didn't know territories. We didn't know respect. We didn't know nothing about nothing, right? So we decided to run our own thing. We found a guy who had just gotten out of the business because he hurt his back. He had a ring. He was willing to let us go set it up in his backyard, train and stuff in it, as long as we took it down. So we started shooting videos in an actual ring, right? Started practicing, doing some things to get ready for shows. And then we found there was a lady that was the manager of, I guess down here, I don't know if you guys have them out your way, but it used to be called Highway, or Andy's, and that's called Highway 55. So basically, it's like a old-timey diner, like the old soda shops.
Yeah, we different towns in the area, but yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, and she was smitten with one of our main guys. So she would print the flyers out for him for free. So we got free flyers, free ring. All we had to pay for, all the overhead we had was the building, and I think it was $150 for the day. So we ran 6 shows. We never lost money. We drew 200 to 300 people each time because we went out and busted our asses hanging fire. Just a bunch of punk kids, you know. And I'm very proud of that.
Oh yeah.
So as things tend to do, people get older. People start moving off to college. One moved to Marion, North Carolina. One moved to Charlotte. I was still in Clinton, and I couldn't do it all myself. So we, you know, disbanded. It was what it was. It was a fun little experiment. So then the guy hits me up out of the blue one day named Tracy Gilbert, and he says he's coming in to run our territory, and he just wanted to let us know. And I don't know what the fuck he was talking about. Like, I mean, sure, man, like whatever, you know, I don't own anything. Like, what do you mean territory, right? Because I didn't know. I was not smartened up on wrestling, NWA, any of it, right? So he's like, you guys are welcome to come and, you know, help set up and hang out and, you know, whatever. So we're like, all right, that sounds cool. So we went to a couple of his shows, met some of the guys, and he decided he wanted to train us. And so he did. And I'm very grateful for that, because had he not, I don't think I'd be in the business, because I mean, I didn't have the means to go pay $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 or whatever it is, you know, at the time.
Yeah.
And really it was one of those things where, like, if I'm getting a little personal here, when I was growing up, like I was a little like nerd. I was a little bully kid, man. I like Harry Potter in high school. I promise.
That was me.
I could send you a picture and you would be like, that is not you. But yes. And I didn't have any friends, man. And when all these guys, you know, we started kind of coming together for wrestling, it was kind of a hanging out with the boys thing. It wasn't like, dude, I was not Rey Mysterio. I was 5'3" or 5'6", or I don't know what I was, but I was short when I started, and I was little, and I couldn't do the things that those guys could do. So I was like, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna have fun with this, and you know, it's the first athletic thing I've ever done in my life, you know, and we went out, we had a blast, man. He trained us, and we started doing shows, and well, I would say a story. The first time we did a show, we were terrified. We all kind of sat in the back corner in the locker room, huddled up. We didn't shake anybody's hand. We didn't say hey to nobody. And we pissed a lot of guys there off. But we didn't know it. We didn't know it, you know?
Yeah.
And the next day we found out. And since then, it's been different. We didn't know anything about etiquette or any of that. And then it just kind of went from there, man. You know, I didn't really start taking it seriously. And this is the one thing I regret more than anything is I didn't take it seriously until probably 7 or 8 years in. And I say that because the first at least 5 years of my career, I was surrounded by wrestling royalty and didn't know it. I'm gonna rattle some names off.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
I came up around that I did not sit under the learning tree and pick their brains the way I should have. You ready? Ricky Morton, Robert Gibson, Stan Lane, Dennis Condrey, Bobby Eaton, Buff Bagwell, Rick Steiner, Larry Zbyszko, God, what is his name? Mr. Wrestling Superstar, Bill, he was in Demolition.
Oh,
Dundee? Bill Dundee?
Yeah, this sounds familiar.
Maybe? Oh, God, that's horrible. I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm pulling a brain fart on it myself.
Jesus, dude. Who else? The Maestro from WCW, Barbarian, Chase Stevens and his partner. Matter of fact, at the time Chase Stevens and Andy Douglas were NWA Tag Team Champions, me and my partner got an actual NWA Tag Team title shot.
Nice.
Yep. And Chase Stevens, we wrestled the night before. I went in there, blew so many spots. He punched me square in my face and said, "Tag the fuck out." We got in the back. He blew me out in front of everybody. But it was exactly what I needed because the next night we were supposed to wrestle him for the tag titles. He was like, "You need to do better tomorrow night and get your head out of your ass." That's exactly what I did. And we're actually pretty good now. We're not, I wouldn't say we're friends, but like, you know,
yeah,
he's a good dude. And like, if I want to hit him up and talk to him, I can. I've actually done some shows with him. I've wrestled him. Oh God, it's been a few years now, but it was the first time in a long time. But yeah, nice. I like Chase. Chase has always been a good dude. He's always been good to me. But yeah, man, it's been a crazy ride, man, because some of the people that I've had the privilege to actually share a locker room with, Tracy Smothers. Oh my God, how can I forget?
Oh yeah.
Jesus. We it was a funny story. We actually had a riot break out one time.
Oh man.
So we were at an armory, right? And these guys had showed up and they had their little spray painted on backyard wrestling shirts, and they were telling everybody in the crowd that they were going to show us what real wrestling was. They were going to jump the guardrail, and bunch of geniuses. So the whole show went by, and the main event was coming up, which was Tracy Smothers against one of my buddies. And I went to the promoter, which was my friend, the guy who trained us, and I said, "Listen, I don't know if these guys are serious or not, but if they're going to do anything, they're going to do it now. This is the last match." And they had all moved up to the rail. And we're like, okay. So I was like, well, look, why don't we make it a lumberjack match? We'll do like 4 heels, 4 babies. That way, if they try to jump in, that not that we needed to protect Tracy Smothers. It was more like
Tracy Smothers probably could have whipped their ass.
Oh, I know he could have. That was a legit bad man.
Oh yeah, no, he could have handled them on his own. But a little backup ain't gonna hurt.
No. So they get into the match, and there's a point where they're working or whatever, and all of a sudden these guys have come up to the rail, and I'm standing there, and I'm a little mouthy motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie. And I was like, "Listen, the best thing y'all need to do," and I was the smallest guy there. best thing y'all can do is go sit down, because if you come across this rail, that's your ass, whatever, right? And the dude like shoved me. And when he did, my buddy was behind me. He caught me, pushed me back up, and I came up and just popped him in the mouth. And then it went nuts. Everybody was jumping. The crowd like dispersed. Everybody was jumping on everybody, throwing chairs, people. It was crazy. And so Tracy just grabs my buddy and puts him in a chin lock, and he's just sitting there, and he's like, "Well, I guess that's the end of that." And every time after that we would see him, he'd be like, "Man, y'all beat the fuck out of them guys." It was the funniest thing, man. Like, I got so many good memories from my early years in the business. I just wish I would have taken it seriously then.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I guess long story short, that's how I got started.
That's awesome. I love hearing about stuff like that. And you got me thinking with some of the stuff I've seen from you, and it got me when I was putting the notes together about the art of being the heel. And looking at some of the footage I've seen of you, there is that part of me being the new parent, and like, maybe I wouldn't start my little one off because I kind of want to bond with the little guy over wrestling, but scaring the kids, like, I'm like, oh man, like my a couple friends of mine that ran the promotion that actually ran my first ever independent show. I've seen pictures and footage of them, like they would have their entrance, but then all of a sudden you'd see one of them like kind of walk back, and you're like, where the hell did they go? And all of a sudden, boom, they pop up right behind this kid and scare the living crap out of them.
That's cool. I'm up still at.
I'm loving it, but it's like, it got me thinking with when you mentioned about, growing up and, the nerdiness of how you were back then. I mean, I know I still am to an extent.
Oh, brother, I got action figures, Funko Pops. I got all kinds of stuff.
But, and we'll go into a little bit of that later.
Oh, absolutely.
But, I can only imagine the fantasy I've had of it if I were to have, like back injuries from the Navy, that's a whole nother thing. But I've always thought it would be fun to be the heel and use some of the mentality that I had from back then in it to be like, I don't know, that little bit of, not quite a chip on your shoulder, but being like, fuck you.
Oh no, that's my entire gimmick. Literally, I have the biggest chip on my shoulder than anybody. Like, the gimmick is that I've been doubted and overlooked for next year be 25 years. Oh, he's good, or he's a good hand, but he's not the guy. He's not, you know what I'm saying? And I got to the point where, like, I wanted people's respect, but I don't care anymore. Like, now you get to see what happens because you didn't give me your respect. That's where I'm at with my heel arc now, and it's pretty fun. I got to be honest. Like, I just did 2 shows this past weekend, made 2 kids cry in 2 different states.
And, I
Not
believe
mad at that.
I've seen some pictures of it. I'm like I said, being the relatively new father that I am and wanting to get him at least somewhat into wrestling, I'm like, maybe I'll kind of slowly introduce him to characters.
You said he's like, what, turning 1?
Turning 1, yeah.
I'm not coming up to like an infant and like scaring the crap out of him. Well, okay, so I'll just explain the incident that happened in Kentucky. So I'm wrestling this guy named Berto.
Oh, I've had him on.
Yeah, Berto. Oh, Berto's great. Berto is very, very cool. He's an old school guy like myself. Not pulling the curtain back too much, but we had a blast. We really enjoyed working with each other. The little nuances and the things that I like to do and he likes to do, the chemistry was there. We just picked up on each other.
Oh yeah. No, I haven't been able to see the footage yet myself, but I've seen the pictures and stuff. But knowing what I do about both characters, I'm like, oh, the dynamic there would have just been awesome.
Well, so did you follow the storyline, or what was why we're even fighting in the first place?
You know what? I don't think I've been able to.
Okay, so I'll quickly give you a synopsis. So
No,
the first show we had Carson Drake from the NWA, right? He wrestled Berto. He ended up hitting him with the title, and the ref was distracted, pinned him, and then stole the hippo, right?
Oh,
So we had, I guess that the promoter or booker had a story where it was going to involve Carson Drake and the hippo and Berto. Well, Carson obviously has a lot going on, right? So he wasn't able to commit the way originally the promoter had thought he was going to be able to commit, and that's okay. We pivot, car subject to change. So after the first show I wrestled Kerry Morton in a ladder match for the inaugural KCW. Matter of fact, I got it right here.
Yeah, I think you got them.
Absolutely, heavyweight championship. So I beat him in that, and it was pretty obvious after the first show that I was the biggest heel there. Not my words, but a lot of other people's. But yeah, here it is.
Oh, nice.
That is the most beautiful indie title I've ever seen, man. It's great. It weighs like almost 10 pounds too, so it's great. So I talked to the promoter and I said, listen, why don't we pivot? I said, we'll do a deal where I'll shoot a video where Carson, I'm trying to get him to sell me the hippo because I see what a fan favorite Berto is, and I want to eliminate that before it becomes a problem. You know what I mean? I'm thinking ahead.
Thinking ahead. There you go.
So I end up acquiring the hippo for the next 2 shows. I have a box with me at my table that says definitely not hippo. And the kids are losing their minds because it's hippo. But I'm like, can you not read? They'll bring Berto to the table. He's like, they said you got my hippo. And I'm like, can you not read either? Definitely not hippo, right? So then we did WrestleCade, which was incredible.
Oh, man.
It was so much fun.
One of my friends from out here was actually there for, I believe he was there for Beer City Bruisers promotion. So.
Yeah, well, AML is he's there, but it's Tracy Myers and Brian Hawks that run it.
Oh yeah,
but yeah, Bear City's a big part of it. He did the battle roll, as a matter of fact, on the Super Show. He did the Bruiser battle roll. Great guy, love watching him work, man. So did the WrestleCade deal, and so I have this partner now. Well, he was Luis Cortez, but I think he's just did a name change to Cairo Cortez. But he's trained by Colby Carino and some help with Steve, of course, his father, when he's in town.
Okay.
And so they put us together. We're Beauty and the Best because I'm the best and he's the beauty because he does the whole like flamboyant model, like pretty boy gimmick. So he was there with us at WrestleCade. So we did a video where we actually unveiled that we do have hippo, and that everybody who thought we didn't was an idiot, and whatever. So then this show coming up, they said, well, Berto found out, so Berto's going to be there, and he's going to confront me. We didn't have a match scheduled or nothing. And then we get there, Berto comes out, he's running his mouth. I come out, cut him off, say, I'm so tired of you whining and crying about this hippo. Here's the funny thing. And I did not tell the promoter that I was going to say this. I just took a chance, and it landed. Oh, did it land. So we were doing a fundraiser, I guess you could call it, for this community pool in the community of Urgent, Kentucky. They're a very small community.
Oh, I think I know where you're going. But you tell it.
And so I was like, okay, I got to say something. These people are really going to hate me. And I was like, all right, I'm doing it. So I told my fiance about it, and she was like, if you say that, we're going to need an escort from the building. I was like, well, I hope so. I'm trying to get Roddy Piper. I'm trying to get Freddie Blastage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I get on the mic and I'm like, y'all, everybody's gathered here because you're trying to raise money for your little community pool and because of the kids, and you care about your kids and you care about your pool. And I said, well, guess what? I don't care about your kids. I don't care about your pool. As a matter of fact, when it opens up this summer, if one of them drowns in it, I don't even care if one of them drowns and dies in it or something like that. You could have heard a pin drop and a look on people's faces. And then I heard, what a scumbag. And I was like, yes. Got him. So, of course, that gave Berto more fire. We're kind of going back and forth. I'm doing the whole flare. I'm in the dress clothes. I'm rolling the sleeves up. I'm tired of this. I'm going to fight you right now, blah, blah, blah. Get a referee out here. We get to do it. We go to do it. Crowd's going nuts. We go to lock up. Boom, I slide out of the ring. Give him the old, nope, not today. So then he count me out, and I'm like, oh, darn. Nothing was on the line, no hippo, no title, whatever. Owner comes out and says, you know what, I'm going to let you do that and cheat these people. As a matter of fact, tonight you are going to wrestle Berto, and whoever wins gets control of the hippo. So that set up the main event. We go out there, we're doing our thing. I go outside. There's a young girl out there. She was probably, I don't know, it was middle school, no, elementary school. I'm sorry. So she, I don't know, 5, 6, maybe 7.
Yeah.
And they had I Love Berto signs. They were all part of this cheerleading group, and they actually did some little like dance exhibition during the intermission, which was cool. And I don't know. I just went over there and was like, there's my target. So I just started messing with her, and she was putting the sign in my face and everything. So I reached through the rail and I snatched the sign from her. And I'm telling you, you'd have thought I just killed her puppy. She went to bawling. And I don't know if it's because I'm getting soft in my old age or because I have 11-year-old daughters. So I know what the little, that stage is like. But I had the sign and I was about to rip it. And it hit me, and I was like, you know what? I already got her. If I rip this sign, it's probably going to traumatize her for life.
Yeah.
And she probably worked really hard on that sign. So I just was like, trip for him again, I'm going to rip it. And I threw it back at her. So that was okay. I got so many comments and messages in my inbox. You should have ripped the sign. You should have ripped the sign. I'm like, come on, y'all. We had
already had the reaction.
I had the reaction. Why did I need to rip the sign? But yeah, that's what that was about, was the whole hippo deal. And man, that match was so much fun. I've had quite a few matches this year, and him and me both said it was our favorite match of the year.
That's
like
awesome.
we did a John Cena spot, of course. You had to. So I'll post it eventually. But I basically, he was down selling. I put the hippo in the ring. I hit a big knee drop on the hippo. Crowd's booing. I start looking at him. I look down at the hippo, and I this big smile on my face, and I did the whole hand. Can't see me. Shuffle. On purpose, because people are going to say you didn't do it right. I did it on purpose because I'm a heel and I'm dumb and I'm going to miss it. So I did this shimmy deal, and I dropped with the left hand, not the right hand like John Cena does. So I dropped the wrong hand. He pulls hippo out of the way. Boom, there's my hand. Son of a bitch. I turn around. He hits the whole John Cena comeback. 2 shoulder tackles. Blue Thunder. All you can't see me. Attitude adjustment. When I tell you the gasp in that place, when I kicked out at 2.99, holy shit.
Yeah.
And then we're just laying there kind of, basking in it, and everybody starts going, thank you, Cena. It was such a moment, man. And that's, to me, what wrestling is about. It is about moments. Yeah. It is C.W. Anderson, who I swear to God is one of the most underrated wrestlers on the fucking planet. So glad him and Brock are in TNA right now.
Oh, yeah.
But C.W. Anderson preaches something to us, and that is emotion over motion. And that's it. That's like, look, nothing. If you can do all the Will Ospreay, Ricochet stuff and still put emotion in it and still get that crowd, awesome. But if you're just going out there spot, like, I don't want to get a "this is awesome" chant. I want to get an asshole chant. You know what I'm saying? Honestly.
That's the whole job of the heel, is to get that.
Nobody knows that anymore, dude. It's like nobody wants to be disliked. Please hate me. Please. That's my job. I tell everybody all the time, I'm a professional asshole. That's it. I get paid to be an asshole, and I'm damn good at it. So just saying.
Oh yeah. No, I've been lucky enough to have a handful of, people that they're pretty good at it themselves, and getting to some of them they warned me ahead of time that they do all of their interviews in characters. I'm like, hey, thank you for letting me know ahead of time. I can prepare myself.
Done something like that. But I mean, like, I don't know, man, in this age now of like, the curtain's already gone. Forget.
Yeah.
I mean, you had WWE put the unscripted or whatever that thing was.
Yeah, Unreal, whatever the hell.
Or everybody knows, dude. Like, it is what it is. It's like going to a play and you see, like, I don't know, your favorite actor, like Tom Cruise is a villain, and you get a chance to meet him afterwards. You're not going to say, you're such an asshole. You're like, oh my God, you're an amazing performer. You did that villain job so well. And that's what I get when people come to my table. They're like, you're such a good heel. Like, you had such good heat, or we really enjoyed watching you, and I can't believe you made that little girl cry, or this or that, or like, and that's what I want to hear, man. I'm an entertainer. I'm a performer. just like anybody else is, you know?
Oh yeah. Now there is one other promotion or shows that you've been on that I'm kind of curious, because even with the amount of episodes that I've done, I feel kind of a blessing. I'm still getting introduced to new places and all that. Mall Mania.
Oh my God.
Now that it's a new one to me. But
Well,
what is
they
up
just had
there?
their second event this past Sunday, so that's why.
But yeah, that is a new one to me. What is up there? Because I mean,
What's not up there?
am I
You talking about a
correct?
who's who all-star roster in the state of North Carolina and beyond. Well, so quick background: the guy who runs it, pretty much, is Roosevelt. He is also a wrestler, very good wrestler. He's done WWE, he's done WCW, or not WCW. He's done WWE, TNA, like Ring of Honor, like you name it, AW. He's been on it, right? We absolutely used to hate each other. We had such heat that like we were literally going to fight over something stupid, like most things are. And then one day I saw him at a show. I walked up to him. We hugged it out. And since then, we've been best friends. Like we've traveled the roads together. We've done it all. Matter of fact, I'll shoot you a link when I get off here if you haven't seen it. And this is kind of how Mall Mania and all started. We did a 60-minute Ironman match, empty arena, just me and him. There was like 3 or 4 of his trainees in there. My fiance was there. And it was he does a podcast with a guy named Brian Renegade, the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. And so we streamed it on there. And it got such a reaction. And I'm telling you right now, that match came for me at a very emotional time in my life. I had just gone through a separation and divorce, was headed for divorce, but we're separated. I was down on myself in a lot of ways, not just, wrestling wise, but as a man, as a husband, as a father, like so much, right? And there was so much I was trying to forgive myself for. And he knew it. And I'm telling you, like I about cry every time I talk about it, to be honest. It's the most emotional. It was like an emotional exorcism is the best way I can describe it. So if you ever have 60 minutes to kill, I promise you it's worth it. We beat the shit out of each other. I was sore for 2 weeks after that match.
Nice. Yeah, no, that sounds like something.
That ring was a training ring that they used, and it was stiff as hell.
Nice. That sounds like something to be right up my damn alley.
Brother, I'm telling you, I will send you the link when we get off here. But so it started with that. They streamed it on the show. Then he came up with this idea of this hyperdrive tournament, right? That's also, you can watch on YouTube. Some of the best guys in Carolina put them together, did a tournament. Blade Brown, who is awesome. If you don't know who Blade Brown is, look him up. He was trained in Greensboro for Firestar Wrestling Academy by LeBron Cozone. Who LeBron, trained Javon Evans, Jackson Drake, Griff Garrison. So, Firestar is where you want to go if you want to be a TV-ready professional wrestler, straight up. So we did the Hyperdrive tournament, and him and Brian had talked about doing a show for about 4 years, and they finally decided, hey, we're going to do it. So they did the first Mall Mania. I wasn't a part of that when I was booked on another show. Huge success. It was actually in the mall, which was, that's a dream, dude. First WCW Nitro was in a mall.
Yeah, the Mall of America, yeah.
There's 2 things I have left to do. Well, a few things, but 2 top ones. I've never won a trophy in a tournament or Rumble or anything. Never wrestled in a mall, right? So he books me for this one, and I'm like, hell yeah, let's go, right? And then he puts me against Lodi, who's, from the Flock, WCW, great guy. I wrestled Lodi one other time before. It was like 15, 20 years ago. I've gotten so much better since then. It was Lodi's rules. This match was singles. We went out. We had a good time. I had the crowd the whole time. It was just simple. It was absolutely simple. I didn't think I bumped him. I didn't bump him one time in that match. And I'm telling you, guys appreciate that, and got the crowd into it. Now I did rip the sign in this one because he hands the signs out to everybody. So I jumped him right before the 4th sign, ripped that one up, and then started putting heat on him. Saw this kid holding the sign up, and I was like, I got to. Rolled out of the ring, grabbed it, ripped it to shreds, and that kid went into his hoodie, like a turtle, and he sat there the whole time, the whole rest of the show, like that. So, whoops, I guess. I don't know. But dude, so Mall Mania, man, they're expanding. They're already talking about going to Nashville, possibly Vegas, which I'm assuming is during WrestleMania week.
I would guess.
In fucking insane. Yeah, it's just, man, it's the brainchild, like I said, of Brian and Roosevelt, and the help from the community. I mean, you got like other people that help out. The amount of talent that was in that building when I walked in, I was just like, are you kidding me, man? I mean, you had Caprice Coleman and his son, Chase. I know Caprice, we go way back. He's one of the first guys I ever met. We've been friends ever since. He's still in phenomenal shape. I know he just does like Ring of Honor commentary mostly now, but he does do some indie bookings a lot with his son and Tag and stuff. He's in phenomenal shape, bro. They call him the ageless one. It ain't no gimmick. That's a shoot, brother. Like, it's crazy. He was there. Oh man, Trayvon Ali. If you don't know who Trayvon Ali is, look him up now. Tim, the Infinite Man. Joe Black out of Georgia, used to be a Carolina guy. Me and Joe go way back. Amazing. The Brutes, Brutality Inc. Mark James, Alex Evans, and they teamed with Beer City. So they were the Beer City Brutes. Dude, I'm telling you right now, that 6-man, that shit was fire. God, I hope they post that. You need to watch that. Jamari, I always say his name wrong, Jace, wrestled a guy named St. Julius, who is out of Firestar. Incredible. Two great guys, two great workers. Man, I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. It was such a good show. And the crowd was into it, even though it was cold. It was freezing in Greensboro. There was even a show, I think, like 15 minutes down the road, and they drew pretty well. But so did the Greensboro show, the Mall Mania. It's definitely something as it continues to grow, which I'm sure after this one, his inbox is probably blowing up, especially when he announced Nashville and Vegas, and he told me about a couple other ones that I can't say too much about right now. But yeah, I just, I've been, ever since me and him buried our hatchet, we've just been rocking with each other. And that's awesome. He's a genuinely good dude, man. But yeah, Mall Mania, definitely something you want to keep an eye on. Oh, for sure. I'm definitely going to be doing that. Now, I got two categories that, kind of round stuff off here. First one's a bit of a name game where I name off some people, you give me some quick thoughts on them. And each of these people, I try to theme it towards the guest as much as possible. And we talked a little bit about people like with being a heel, like not really wanting people to hate them. Each of these people at different points in their career were definitely ones like that. Okay. First one, definitely one of them right now, MJF. Okay. You mean as far as people not wanting him to hate him, or he does? Oh, he don't care. Oh, dude, let me tell you. I watched MJF. He was at WrestleCade. He was right beside my friend Saraya, and then right beside her was Killer Cross and Scarlett. And or Saraya, I'm sorry, she's gonna kill me. Dude, I literally watched him. This kid was standing there at his table, and he looks at him and he goes, "What do you want?" And this kid was like, I don't know, 8, 7. And he's like, kind of like, he goes, hits the table. He goes, "What do you want?" And he was like, pointed to a picture, his little hand shaking. And he was like, "Come here. So you're getting a picture with me too?" And he's like, "Yeah, come here." He goes around the back. The kid like hits his picture and like knocks it off. And he goes, "Quit fucking up my shit." Like, he does not fucking care. But that's, dude, can you imagine how freeing that is? To be able to literally do and say anything you want. It's like, this is another, probably you guys don't have it, but I'm sure you have something similar. So not too far from where I'm at here in Wilmington, North Carolina, down the road is in Myrtle Beach. They have a place called Dick's Last Resort. It is I've been to a few, yeah. Okay, so you go there and they just insult the shit out you, and they put the hats on that look like the condoms, and they write weird stuff on it, right? That is the wrestling version. MJF's the wrestling version. He perfect fitting right there. Yeah, exactly. And that has got to be. And then it's funny. And the crazy thing is, I should say, he can actually work. Like, it's not that he's just a gimmick. But my God, it's like when Austin became Stone Cold. He didn't have to work anymore. MJF doesn't have to work. He literally can just go out there and say and do any fucking thing he wants. that's got to be the best feeling in the world, man. It's like a good friend of mine told me. He's like, do you want to be known as the best wrestler in the world, or do you want to go make $1 million? Because guess what? You can't do both. I mean, I love Rey Mysterio. He's like one of my all-time favorites. But you can't tell me that the only reason he didn't win the world title was because Eddie passed away. They would have never put that title on Rey Mysterio. Just like I don't think a guy like Ricochet, Will Ospreay. Now Ospreay might get the AEW heavyweight title, but like WWF or E, never. And it's not because they're not talented, they're not good, but they don't work the same. Look at the guys that are on top. Look how they work. You know what I mean? It's different. And like Javon Evans, I'm telling you right now, though, I really feel like if he stays healthy, he can be the youngest WWE champion in history. I think he's got, 2 years because he's 21, if I'm not mistaken. So he'd have to do it 23, have to do it before 24, right? Because that was Orton?
Orton or
Orton 26.
I say there was one. I'm pulling another brain fart here, but yeah,
because I know it was like The Rock and Orton.
Yeah,
right there. They were like 1 and 2. I felt like Orton was 24. But anyways, Javon has that style where he can do all that stuff. But my God, did you see the match he had with Gunther?
Oh yeah,
He put him in there with a main event guy, and he can still work.
Oh yeah, no, he definitely. I know. Watching that match as it was happening, I definitely going into it wasn't thinking. I was thinking like, oh God, another squash.
Right.
But good Lord, he gave Gunther a run for his money.
He did. That was very surprising. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I've known him since he was 14. Like I've known the kid. That's when he started training. Him and Jackson Drake both. They were 14. But funny story. I tore my knee in 2018 or 19, meniscus and ACL tear, and I was in the ring with both of them when I did it. They didn't do it. We did some stuff before the show. It got torn. I braced it up. I was like, look, I'm going to go out here. I'm going to do what I can do. I took one arm drag. It was either from Jackson or Javon Evans, and as soon as I did, it went out again. And I just rolled out. My partner had to stay in there and just continue the match. I rolled out. I was done. But yeah, so it's kind of crazy, and it's always great to see those guys, man.
Oh, I can imagine.
I'm so proud of both of them. Like, I mean, we knew it was coming, but because it's coming, that doesn't mean that you don't appreciate it when you see it.
Oh, for sure.
But as far as MJF, yeah, he's MJF. I will say this: I think he's like this generation's Piper, or at least that's what he tries to be. Which for my money, Roddy Piper, greatest heel of all time.
Oh yeah,
in my opinion.
Now, next up, I mentioned that I'm a big tag team guy. And when you mentioned the stuff about damn near riots, well, this tag team back in the days of their original ECW were known to incite those on a near nightly basis. The Dudley Boys.
Oh, are you kidding me? So if you got to look at decorated, how can you not call them the greatest tag team of all time?
Mm-hmm.
I asked Devon that very question, and I can't remember what he said, but I honestly think he didn't say they were the best of all time. I don't know. He said we were the best of our time, but they never wrestled anybody like the Horsemen, the original Horsemen, and people like that. So how can you say we were the best of? Are we the most decorated tag team of all time? Yes. Are we the best? How can you say that?
Oh yeah. No, that's definitely one of those things that can be tricky with figuring all that out. But yeah, no arguing with being most decorated.
Oh, you can't.
Oh yeah.
But then some people will say, well, it means you lost the title that many times too. Just like Jesse Ventura said about Cena on Saturday Night Main Event. Like, what are you doing? Like,
it's still the fact of, yeah, you might have lost it, but sometimes getting back to the point of winning it again can be just as much of a battle as even earning it the first damn time.
It is so much easier to get to the top than it is to stay on top. Period. I'm a big MMA, UFC guy, and that's the way that works. Once those guys get the title, they get, like, I won't say complacent, but you can tell they're not as hungry. and that's when they end up getting caught slipping and they lose it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
same thing with professional wrestling. I mean, that's when you kind of maybe slack a little bit, and some guy comes up that's just a newcomer, and they're like, "Hey, man, that guy's going to the top with a rocket, so we're gonna put it on him." You just never know.
Right.
But the Dudley Boys, I mean, it's another thing with like MJF, like they were able to pretty much do and say whatever they wanted during the ECW days. Like, can you imagine how freeing that was?
Yeah.
Along with guys like New Jack.
So I've actually, in my next category, I got a question that I've actually been told a story about New Jack that we'll go into that later. But yeah. Okay. But yeah, no, back in those days, the freedom they were given with that promotion, oh boy. You wouldn't be able to get away with a lot of that stuff right now.
No, and it was just something that was so revolutionary in a time when everything else was so stale. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But what's crazy is the fact that he was working with Vince the whole time. What we find out years later is like, what the hell? Like, that's the ultimate long game,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, ECW was insane. I mean, Rob Van Dam, who is one of my all-time favorites. Him and Jerry Lynn, like, I was blessed enough 2 years ago at WrestleCade to be able to sit with Jerry Lynn in a mellow mushroom and have dinner and talk to him for 3 hours.
Nice.
About wrestling, death metal music, just everything, dude. He was the nicest guy. Like, it was like, call me a mark if you want to, man. I grew up watching Jerry Lynn and Rob Van Dam, Sabu, all those guys. Like, I watched that. And then, so then ECW, and then after that, I think was Lucha Underground. That was probably that next thing that grabbed everybody's attention, Like, it was so much fun to watch. The storylines were great. Like,
oh yeah.
But no, Dudley Boys, you can't. It's hard to say they're not at least top 3 if they're not the best.
Oh, for sure. Now, we kind of talked about this next guy a little bit. But yeah, it would be hard to venture that at different points in his career when he was playing the heel that there probably wasn't a whole lot of anybody better. Roddy Piper.
100%. I mean, he's to me, like, if you want to be a heel, you look at what that guy did.
Oh yeah. Like, go back to, what was it? I think it was in LA where he somehow got away with playing La Cucaracha as the Mexican national anthem.
Yeah. Well, he got stabbed. I was here in Raleigh, actually, in Carolina one night. There was a Dorton Arena when they were still running there. Dude, the coconut deal with Snuka.
Oh, with Snuka, yeah.
Like, all that stuff, man. The Mr. T.
Oh, the half blackface.
Yeah, God, he was so good, man. Not only was he good, but he was, well, I won't say he was quick because he actually wrote his stuff down. But the stuff that he would come up with and write down in his notebook and then use it later. Like, because I'll be honest, a lot of times I'll have good ideas. Like, we'll be riding down the road and I'm like, oh, man, that was a good one. And she's like, if you don't write that down, you're going to forget it. Sure enough, I will if I don't put my little notes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Piper he was great, man. I'll tell you somebody else that I love growing up, too. Ted DiBiase.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody has a price, and he would do that challenge. And he'd be just about to win, and he would kick the ball or something. Oh, sorry, kid. Oh, what an asshole.
And speaking of Rob Van Dam, wasn't he one that actually got in on that?
Yes, I think so. I think you're right about that.
Yeah, I remember hearing that story. That was nuts.
So, yeah. But, yeah, I think it's hard to say Piper's not the greatest heel of all time.
Oh, for sure.
Some people say Flair. And I get that.
Yeah, no, I can understand that. Now, last but not least, I like to say that a lot of like the all-time greats can do both. They can be a heel, a real heel, and make you hate them, but then they could play the babyface and make you love them just as much. The last guy I have here, I think, was a master at both. The late, great Eddie Guerrero.
Are you kidding me? Eddie was, man, I don't even know how to explain it. Like he was entertainment. He was television. He came up with stuff that we still use today.
I
You
think I
know,
saw a
the Eddie
picture.
Guerrero finish, they call it every
Yep.
single time.
The boot and like, oh, slipped off. And
The
then I
boot
think,
of throwing the chair and taking the bump, the
yep.
title. Like
I think
Eddie
what
was
was
so
it?
good.
AJ Styles just used it against
Yeah,
Dominic. And what? Oh yeah, I saw the picture on your Facebook where the caption was that if you're not cheating, you're not trying. Boom, Eddie Guerrero right there.
I'm telling you, man. I lie, I cheat, I steal. Like Eddie was so good at what he did. Speaking of ECW, oh my God, Eddie Guerrero, the stuff he did there. And I'm gonna throw another name out there, and I know it's not popular, but I don't give a shit. Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit is such a big inspiration for me because of his intensity.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna tell you what. He might not have had the charisma and the ability to sell the T-shirts, but you fucking believed what he did in that ring.
oh yeah. No,
You could never say
that
him and Dean Malenko, who is another huge inspiration of mine.
oh yeah. No, it's a little sad seeing how, you know, obviously with what happened with Benoit, but you know, for those that can, kind of separate and be like, yeah, what happened personally at that ended his life, yeah, no, that was evil, despicable, yeah. But what he did in that ring, you believed he was an absolute badass.
I'm sure he was. You know, he literally gave his entire body and his life to that business to entertain us. You can't sit here and tell me that all those dives off the cage and the headbutts and the one where he dove to the outside and hit the wall that they show all the time did not cause concussions, did not cause CTE, which
Oh yeah,
possibly led to all that other alleged stuff. I wasn't there. I don't know what the fuck happened.
yeah,
That's
no,
the way I see it.
but
But
I do
you
believe,
can't take away from it. It's separating the art from the artist.
yep,
It's
no,
no different than
definitely,
Johnny Depp, right? A lot of people say Johnny Depp's in the devil worship or whatever, and if that's something you're against, but you're not going to not go see Pirates of the Caribbean because Johnny Depp's a Satanist. At least I'm not.
nah,
He's the best.
oh yeah, no,
So it just I don't know, man. But you know what? People are entitled to their opinions, and
oh yeah,
it is what it is. But you can't. I'm sorry, you can't take away from his body of work and the
oh
stuff
yeah,
that he did. You know.
yeah. No, you might not be able to, for obvious reasons, people talking about the Hall of Fame, you don't want to. That whole situation is going to overshadow. We've all heard that argument, but you can still sit back and admire the in-ring work that he was able to do before that whole situation basically put a damper on all of it.
Yeah.
For sure. Now, I got some random questions here. Some wrestling related, some not, some, nothing to do with anything we talked about, but that's why they're random. Now, the first one, craziest in-match moment for you.
Craziest as like, I can't believe we did this and pulled it off, or craziest Mark moment like, I can't believe this is happening to me personally.
Either or both.
Okay. Well, I can tell you craziest as far as Mark moment, and I'm not afraid to say it because he's literally one of the nicest guys I ever met, and he keeps getting nicer every time I see him, is Marcus Buff Bagwell.
I've heard good about meeting him.
Dude, so he's so good with his fans. We did a match, I guess it was probably 2 years ago now. It was me and a buddy of mine who put a tag team together who he retired shortly after, against two of my childhood friends. We came up in the business together, and they had Buff on the show. So they had Buff manage them. They came out to the NWO music wearing NWO shirts. And I remember sitting in my house with these guys watching the NWO on pay-per-views when we were 17, 18, 19 years old. Not only that, so Buff is out there ringside, and I'm talking shit to him. I'm doing my heel thing. So then I come up with the idea before the match, and I was like, "Hey, like, would you be cool, like, spray painting this NWO, like after?" And he was like, "Well, yeah, man, I got to spray paint." And so I told my wife at the time, "Here's $20. Go run and get some spray paint." So we did, and he did. So we went over the match. We cheated, whatever. And we're trying to leave, and then the dudes grab us. They bring us back in the ring, beat us up, hold us down. And I've got pictures. I'll send them to you if you want me to, where he is standing over me and he's spraying a big O on my back because I was wearing a shirt. And I've actually he signed it. I got the shirt hanging up.
Nice.
So, like I said, call me a mark, man. That was awesome for me.
Yeah.
Man, I've shared a ring with a lot of guys, man. I've shared a ring with Ricky Morton, Barbarian, Heath Slater, whatever you want to call him.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had some fun matches, man. Headbangers, that was crazy. That was out of left field. Well, Buff and the Patriot shared the ring with them in a 4-way tag match once. That was fun. As far as like that kind of stuff, like really cool happening to me, yeah, that was probably the top. But as far as like crazy, well, I mean, I'll say this. This was back when we were running our own shows. So my dad grew up in the amusements business, which is basically pinballs, video games, poker machines, pool tables, all that stuff. So we got a sheet of pinball glass. And I don't know if you know anything about it, but it's what they call like tamper or whatever. It's when you hit it and it explodes, so it doesn't like cut you to shreds.
Yeah.
So me and a buddy of mine who's since passed, God rest his soul, we had a match at one of our shows. The finish, we put 2 trash cans in the ring. He put the sheet of pinball glass over it. And I can't remember how we got me there, but I think I was going for a Hurricane Rana or something. And he caught me and stopped me and powerbombed me through that sheet of pinball glass.
Ooh.
And the visual and the sound was money.
Oh, I can imagine.
The scar it left in my forearm, it was like getting shot with glass because like it literally exploded into my skin. And because it cut it so jagged, we couldn't get it stitched up. We had EMTs there and everything. Couldn't get it stitched up or nothing. So it just kind of made this gnarly. It used to smell like cow, but I don't know what it looks like now. That's probably one of the craziest things I've done Towers of Doom. I flipped to the outside once, landed on 6 guys. My heel hit one of them in the top of the head, knocked him out. So he fell on the other guys. He was the biggest guy. So I hit the floor. Armory floor. Nothing but concrete, and everything started like vibrating. I felt like it was in a warm pool of water. That was pretty scary.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I got this gnarly thing, if you can see it.
Oh.
So that is a grade 2 AC strain, which basically means I snapped this. So the piece that holds my collarbone down is non-existent.
Oh, damn. Yeah. Like
that happened 7 seconds into a match.
Oh, jeez.
And I was done. That and my knee was the only time I've ever not been able to continue. I got kicked in the jaw one time in a scramble match, and it completely dislocated it, like out.
Yeah.
And so I rolled under the ring, popped it back into place. Then we got in the ring, and we went like 10 or 15 more minutes.
Oh, wow.
Like, I don't like pain. I just have a really high tolerance for it.
Yeah.
Now, I will say that. Talking to pain, you're a deathmatch guy. Before I hang them up, I've said this on every podcast. I've said it plenty of times. I want one death match, and I want to go all out. Thumbtacks, the skewers, like whatever. Let's barbed wire. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right, but I'm going to do it with somebody I trust, somebody safe, and I want to build a story with it. I don't want to just do some random one-off.
Yeah, not the one-off.
No.
But
yeah, so that was random. But yeah.
Oh yeah, no, and I've been lucky enough to hear a bunch of great, craziest stories. I mentioned I had the one about New Jack. I had Lloyd Anawai on a while back, and he told me about a match he had with New Jack back in the original ECW.
Oh, wow.
And he was telling me about how they were being told, being careful with the venue, not destroying this or that.
Jack didn't give a shit about that.
Oh yeah, no. You mentioned that with New Jack. Yeah, no, New Jack didn't give a fuck. But what ended up happening was they both ended up going through a wall, and Paul Heyman screaming at them after the match.
Wow.
Yeah. And what?
So I got a quick New Jack story. This is the first time I met him. We were in Wilmington, North Carolina. Here, there was a show at a bar downtown. Like Vince Russo was there, Tommy Dreamer, a bunch of guys, and so we were there standing in line. I was just this is when I was out of the business. I've taken a few breaks, hiatuses, mostly due to the marriage I was in, trying to make everybody happy. But so I'm standing there with my wife at the time. She's getting upset, frustrated. It's hot outside. I get it. We're sweating, standing in line waiting. She's like, well, how much longer until the door's open? I'm like, I don't know. She looks down there and she goes, well, I'm gonna go ask that guy. So there's a guy standing down there in a long white t-shirt, big dude. And she goes down. I just kind of glanced, and she goes down there. Tommy Dreamer's right here, like eating a Jimmy John's sub. It was great. I was talking to him, and so he goes. She goes down there, and she comes back pretty quick, and she's mad as hell. And she goes, "You ain't gonna believe what that guy just said to me." And I was like, "Well, she need to go there and straighten him out." I said, "All right, let me go down there." She goes, "Yeah." She said, "I went there and I asked him, hey, when did the doors open?" And he turned around and he said, "I don't know, bitch. I don't work here." So she comes down there, right? And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna straighten this shit out. I get about halfway down the line, he turns around, and it's New Jack.
Oh God.
I turn my happy little white ass right back around, walk straight back to the back of the line. Did you straighten him out? Nope, didn't say a word. Why not? Maybe that's New Jack. No, I ain't fucking with him.
No.
I actually got to know him pretty good. We used to talk in Messenger and shit. He'd be up at like 4 a.m. talking about what fuck y'all doing, drinking his Hennessy and cognac and all that shit. He was a trip, man. It was I mentioned Firestar. He actually went up there a few times and trained with some of those guys and helped him out a little bit. But yeah, he was Jack, man. He was authentic. I'll give him that. Like there's very few guys in this business that are like real, but like
Yeah.
that dude was real.
Oh yeah, for sure. Now I got a question here that I've been curious because I know when I'm in the crowd or I'm on commentary, I make it my mission at a show to make somebody crack. Wrestler, referee, ring announcer, I don't care. Like I liken myself to on commentary like Pat McAfee. Like I'm gonna say some off the wall damn thing that's just gonna make somebody like. Has anybody ever made you crack in a match? Like some off the wall thing that like for that split second even maybe that you're just like, oh God.
Oh man, are you kidding me? Too many times to count. So it's kind of a double-edged sword with me. I mentioned Malenko earlier, and it's weird because I'm a lot like him because from what I understand backstage, he was a prankster and he's full of, charisma and all that stuff. When he went in front of the camera, he was serious.
Very serious, straightforward.
Yeah, the Iceman. And that's kind of always been my downfall. Is that's me. I'm literally, it's funny to say it, but I still haven't let go. If I ever do really let go, I don't know what's going to happen. I might get canceled. I don't know. But everybody who knows me knows that I like making people laugh. I'm a clown. I'm an entertainer. So all the time we used to but it's one of those things where I get out there in the ring sometimes and I'm almost too serious. But then I realize that, I'm not having fun. So when you can be so relaxed that you're out there working, you got the crowd, you're doing all that, and you can talk shit to your buddy or the guy you're wrestling, that's so much fun.
Oh yeah.
And I don't want to name drop. It is what it is. KC McKnight, who's now Dax Harwood, we came up wrestling together. We used to be really close. He's one of the most talented wrestlers I've ever been in the ring with. FTR is one of the best tag teams ever. You'll never take it away from him. He was the master at that. Like we would be in a 6-man tag or something, and me and him would be on the ring apron, and he'd be talking about some girl in the front row or some toothless dude over here, and we're the baby faces, right? Like we're supposed to be, cheering for our guy to, come back, and it was so much fun, man. Like I haven't done that in a while, but that kind of reminds me, like I need to. I'm kind of getting back. Like this past weekend was my last shows of the year, and it was a great way to end the year because, like, I don't know, man. Like at the heart of me, I know what I am. You know, I'm not this guy that's going to go out there and get this is awesome chance, and I'm not going to get like holy shit chance, but I'm going to piss you off because I'm very good at that, and I don't have to do much else after that. You know, and I've kind of strayed away from that in recent years because I've been around some of these younger guys, and I've seen the viral spots that go, you know, on, and that's what everything's about now, social media. When I started in 2001, we barely had MySpace. You know what I'm saying? So like none of that mattered. When I was taught in wrestling training, it had nothing to do with social media, nothing to do with building a brand. Like that's all new to me. And I'm way behind the curve on that. And I'm trying, you know. And to be quite honest, for 25 years, I've been trying to find myself. Not only as a person, but like as a wrestler, as a gimmick. I've gone through so many gimmicks. Like, you know, Malenko's the man of 1,000 holds. I'm the man of 1,000 gimmicks, you know. But now I feel like I've settled on something where it's like, who am I? I'm exactly what you've made me because I've tried to be everything that I thought you wanted. I've tried to be everything else, but now you're stuck with me. Now you're stuck with what happens when, even though I do what you want me to do, you still, shit on me and spit in my face.
Mm.
And it's fun. And I'll be honest with you, like I had a brief conversation at a horror convention with Killer Cross. And amazing dude, man. And like,
I'm a big fan of his.
Legitly wanted to talk to me. Like it was not one of these like, yeah, okay, kid, whatever. No, he was invested. And he looked at me. I said, look, I'm 44 years old. I'll be 45 next year. I was like, what can I do? What do I have left to give to this business? Right. And he was like, well, first of all, you got to be honest with yourself. And he said, you've got to look in the mirror and not only see what you really see, but think about if you were buying a ticket, what do those people see? What are they going to believe? You're not going to come out here and choke slam people. You're not going to be a monster that scares people. You're not, there's just certain things you aren't. He said, you know what I see when I look at you? He said, I see a guy who's been through it. You know what I mean? He's been up and down the road. He's had a hard time. He's sitting at the end of that bar and he's trying to drink his troubles away. And he does not want to be bothered. But when somebody goes down there and messes with you, you're going to fuck them up. He said, that's what I see for you. He said, you know, yeah, you might be the smallest guy or whatever, but you can tell that guy, well, I'll be the smallest guy that ever broke your fucking jaw. You know what I mean? And that's literally where I'm at right now. And yeah, and it's funny. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm some Billy Badass, but there's been quite a few people that have tested me and found out, you know, and that's the way I am. I don't talk a lot of shit. Not unless it's for a heel reason. You know, I don't go out of my way to try to, you know, oh, I'm this or I'm that, or I'm the greatest unsigned talent, or I got all the skills and the tools. No, that's not my place to say. That's somebody else's place to say. You know, even now people are like, man, when are you going to NXT? When are you going to TNA? And I'm just like, brother, I'm realistic. Like, I'm 45 next year. Like, they're not going to take a shot on me. But you know what? I'm having a blast. I actually went and did TNA last October. We didn't get on TV, but man, I had such a fun day. Like it was helping them set the ring up. We did a meet and greet for Matt and Jeff, and it was just a fun time, man. I've been there and I've been Ring of Honor. And the two times I've been to places that were up here, the one thing I noticed was no egos, no bullshit, no cliques, no talking trash behind somebody's back, no people walking around thinking they're better than somebody else. Like what you get on most of the time in the indies, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It sucks, dude. Like I hate it. Like the cattiness and the this and the that, and the he said, she said, it's worse than high school, brother. All the drama that comes along with it.
I've been there.
I'm sure.
I've been there.
I'll be honest, like I have had enough heat to last a lifetime. Some of it's been self-inflicted because I've put my foot in my mouth, and you know, bad habits are hard to break sometimes, and
yeah.
It is what it is, but I'm every day I'm striving and working to be a better person, and not only a better person, but like I want to be somebody that people want to come to and be like, hey man, like I like watching you work. Like how did you get to where you are? Like how did you get the mindset? Like how do I get out of myself and stuff like that? You know what I mean? Because like I'm willing to help anybody who's willing to listen. I ain't done much in this business. Let's be honest. Like but I know a little bit about a little bit. You know, that's the way I look at it. I know I'll put it to you this way. I will put myself against any heel that's in wrestling right now and promise you I can go out there and hang with them as far as pissing off a crowd and doing my job. You know what I mean? I might not have the cardio. I might not have the physical stature. I might not have a lot of things. but I'm gonna hang with you when it comes to pissing off a crowd. And that's my job. That's the way I see it. That's what you pay me to do.
The way I see it.
That's what you pay me to do. And there's so many hills that forget that. You know, they want cool little finishers and they want their cool little catchphrases and these things and stuff that the crowd can, you know, which is great because it's merchandise and I know you want to sell. But I'm gonna tell you right now, brother, we went to WrestleCade. I sold almost $400 in merchandise as a heel. Over this past weekend, I sold over $400 in merchandise in 2 shows.
Nice.
It's just you just have to connect with people, you know.
But yeah, I know for me in the crowd, yeah, like you said, I like to make people crack. Like I've one that was at an indie show here local to me. I actually got Mike Bennett one time.
I love Mike Bennett. You know, he's my dream match.
Nothing but love for that guy. He was doing a match here, and it was right around the time the Undisputed Kingdom really started to really get going, and Roderick Strong would just be randomly yelling out, "Adam!" Well, one time during the match, both guys in separate corners, crowd had just died down a little bit, and I saw my moment. I yelled it out, and you could see him look down, and I swear it looked like he was mouthing, "You son of a bitch."
He probably did.
And then I got to talk with him after. He was like, "Dude, you popped the hell out of me." I'm like, "Yes,
that's awesome, man." And dude, he is such an inspiration to me.
Oh,
like,
dude.
Not only his wrestling ability, I think he's so underrated. I think he's another one of those guys that just got lost in the shuffle. Because I'll be honest, when I had an injury, I got out of the business. My wife at the time, we went on a honeymoon to Universal Studios in Florida. That's when TNA was taping there. That was literally, it was like you go to the park, you get free tickets. So she's like, "You want to go?" And so when I'm out of wrestling, it's like an alcoholic. I have to stay away from it.
Yeah.
I know I'm not done with it. I'll get that itch. So I was like, if you really want to. So we went. It was okay. So it was the pay-per-view where Matt and Jeff had their deal and the Broken Hardy gimmick started the next night. Well, I hadn't been following it. So we get there, we're sitting there, and here comes Matt Hardy walking out doing his whole, wonderful stuff. And I'm going, what the fuck's happened since I quit watching wrestling, right? Then I saw the Miracle Mike Bennett. And I was hooked. I was absolutely hooked. And of course, Eli Drake was there then too with the dummy, but it was it pulled me back in like hardcore. And ever since then, I followed him. Him and Maria and going through the WWE stuff and the release. I mean, dude, they lost their jobs at the same time. They had a family to provide for. And he got out and started busting his ass on the indies, much like Matt Cardona, who's another huge inspiration of mine. Matt Cardona has proven that you don't need a huge force or a team or a big company backing you. I'm sure he's making more money now in the indies than he ever did in WWE.
Oh, yeah.
And Chelsea makes the WWE money. So it's like, it's perfect.
I've been lucky enough to meet the both of, Bennett and Matt Cardona. I got a couple of his
very cool
up there, but yeah, Bennett, nothing but love for the guy.
I really want to work him, dude. I love his style too. Like, I want to get in there and trade with him. Like, every time he posts something, I share it, and I'm like, somebody give me Mike Bennett. I'm telling you. And not only that, but like, he got me through a rough time, man, because he puts out his inspirational videos.
Yeah, he does great with them.
Watch his workout plan. At one time, he was putting his workout plan all over Instagram, which helped me get in phenomenal shape. And like, even if I never get a chance to work a match with him, I just want to shake his hand and say thank you.
Maria actually follows my show on Instagram.
Very cool, man. Hell yeah.
Not the last time that I met him, I actually got to show him a picture of my son because I know they're actually getting ready for another little one of their own. But the time before that, the time that I got him to crack, it was very shortly after he did the promo where he was like, "I'm gonna ball up my fist, punch you right in the..." I'm like, I wanted it so bad. I told him, "Hey, can we do a little short promoting my channel where we do that? We fit that in there." And boom, it's right up pinned on my shorts on both Instagram and on YouTube. Oh,
that's pretty cool.
Oh man, loved it. But I actually got somebody to crack on Collision before. I was sitting like 2 rows behind the announce desk, And it was very shortly after Toni Storm had done the promo where she talked about Mariah May slapping the tits off her opponent. And I'm like, oh, I remember specifically talking to somebody being like, oh, God, I hope Toni Storm has a match that night at Collision. Wouldn't you know she did? And there was one point she was up in the corner, Luther standing very, like, not that far from me. I just yelled out over everybody, slap her tits off. And he jumped like, what the?
Man, I will say this. I was thinking about something. So before I got into the business, I used to go to the local shows. Like we went to Fall Brawl in Winston-Salem twice, and then they did the old Crown or Civic Center in Fayetteville. WCW did a house show. And the main event was the Nasty Boys against the Outsiders, Hall and Nash.
Ooh.
I was sitting close enough to where the Nasty Boys were about to go over. I can't remember if it was for the titles or not, but then, of course, they came in, interference, NWO, all that. And I was so mad. This is when I was like a mark. I took a piece of ice and threw it and hit Scott Hall right here.
Oh, jeez.
And he came out of that ring looking for who threw that. And I was 16, I think, at the time, maybe 17, if that. Like, that was a wild moment for me.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine.
Yeah.
Although I would be I would feel weird if I didn't put one of my favorite moments making somebody crack was actually, well, so far the one and only time I've been able to do commentary. It was for a first show, and they were talking ring announcers in the ring about stuff for the second show. And my commentary partner said, oh, sounds like a solid second show. And I'm like, light bulb went off. I'm like, I didn't say this, but I was like, oh, you just walked right into this one. And without missing a beat, I just said, yeah, because nobody likes a runny number 2. He had to stop. He had to stop talking.
That's great.
He was laughing so hard.
That's so cool. That's
fun. Man.
I love making people laugh, man. I always say I'm quick with a joke and a lot of your smoke.
Oh,
that's me, man. All the time.
You give me an opening for a joke, I'm taking it.
Oh, same. And usually it's the dirty one. So that's what she said. Oh, my Lord. It's so bad. I can turn anything into some kind of...
Oh, God. I am the type that... Okay, my wife loves these at-home and, like, home decor places. I am the type that when my wife actually has me go in with her and I'll see those pillows that have like the sequence that you can like make it switch colors.
Yeah.
I'll write poop into the pillow.
I may or may not.
I can't take you anywhere. So yeah.
I feel you.
I have too much fun. Well, Lord knows I go on tangents on this show.
Same.
Just happened. Well, one of the last 2 questions I have here, I feel like with the name of a show like I have to ask this one. Favorite drink, alcoholic or otherwise, or shit, both?
Non-alcoholic, man, I am so addicted to energy drinks, like it's not even funny. Like I used to work third shift, rebuilding grocery stores. And there was times we drink like 4 to 6 in a 12, 14-hour period just to stay awake. My poison right now, I guess, is Monster, but 0 sugar or at least 10 calories or less because trying to hang with these boys and get some kind of shape at 44 is not fun.
My favorites, the C4, either the popsicle brand ones because they got like cherry and grape that I'm huge on.
Hawaiian Punch is good too. I had a Hawaiian Punch one not too long ago.
That is my favorite one. People ask me about it, and I'm like, it basically tastes like a carbonated Hawaiian Punch.
Absolutely.
And it is freaking delicious. I had 2 today.
They're great. I like the Welch's Ghost. Those are pretty good.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I'm not a Red Bull guy. Red Bull's a little bit bitter for me. But yeah, I'm at least one energy drink a day, probably two, plus pre-workout. My caffeine tolerance is so high I could pound a Monster and go straight to sleep.
Oh yeah, no, I
Bad.
with the amount that I had to drink on deployment for the caffeine, unless I'm about to pass out tired, I don't even feel it anymore.
Oh yeah.
Those
Well, I guess it's
jitters
part of
that
being in the business. I mean, if it had been the '80s, I'd have been doing cocaine and pills and everything else. I suppose that was the pre-workout back in the day, from what I understand.
Oh yeah, from what I've heard, yeah.
Eight ball. Yeah. No, not for me. I don't even
Yeah.
smoke. I've never smoked a cigarette a day in my life. It's just not something I've ever cared to do. My parents did it. It just our clothes stunk going to school. The walls were yellow. It was
One or two times I've ever, as far as cigarettes, I only know because other people told me and I was hammered off my ass.
that's not
Other
shame.
other than that, nope, smoking ain't really my deal.
Now the devil's lettuce I have partaken in from time to time, but it's also not really my jam.
Only my whole thing with that, if which I with how much places are legalizing and stuff,
Yeah.
I just always tell people, man, if it's legal where you're at, just don't be stupid.
Exactly. Well, today they signed the whole was it Control 3 now substance. It's like gotten lower on the scale, or plus the WWE allows it now.
Yeah.
Every indie locker room you go to, brother, I don't care where it's at. They can make that don't do this on the premises speech 1,000 times till they're blue in the face. It
Oh yeah.
never fucking fails. But you know
Yep.
what? As far as that goes, I'm not a big fan of being in the ring with somebody who is under the influence of something. But as long as you don't hurt me or hurt yourself, I mean, I guess we're okay. But I prefer not to.
Yeah. Oh no, most
Not that
definitely.
I haven't. Not that I haven't myself in my younger stupid days
Oh god.
with alcohol. But
Oh god. Alcohol. I've had my times. Okay. I've only ever blacked out twice, but both times one was a high school classmate's 21st birthday. They ended up having a bar crawl in the town they were in. I remember leaving the last bar. I remember walking up the stairs to the house we all stayed at. I don't remember how I got to the house. So I thought that my car was parked a couple blocks away. Luckily, somebody called me before I got too far. No, it turns out what I thought was a couple blocks was more like a couple miles.
oh Jesus,
And the other one was, I've told this story, so I'm not even ashamed to talk about it. It was actually at my youngest sister's wedding. The last memory I have was getting ready to leave, and somebody asked me, "Hey, you good?" I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm fine, cool." I wake up completely changed in my parents' basement on the couch, and that movie, Dude, Where's My Car?
yeah.
I literally woke up like, dude, where's my car? I run up the stairs. I look out and parked perfectly along the curb. There's my car.
Wow.
I literally was like, oh, okay. I walked back down the stairs, back on the couch, and fell asleep.
Oh man.
I got lucky.
Yeah, you definitely did.
I got lucky. Hey, there were other people from that wedding party that were, it was downtown in my hometown. There were people passed out along the curb.
It's the worst. Passing out in public.
I've had my times doing the crazy drinking amounts. Every once in a while I might still, but I have a plan whenever I do.
Yes, and I can't. I'm telling you, I don't recover the way I used to, and I
Yeah, I
absolutely
don't.
100% refuse to drink the night before show.
Oh yeah, no, I
Yeah.
definitely have my times where it's like, yeah, no. If I know I got something coming up, it's like, yeah, no.
I wrestled with a hangover quite a few times in my younger days. Couldn't do it now if I tried.
Oh God, I remember going out in the Navy and literally getting back to the ship just in time to put my uniform back on and get to work. Not a fun day.
But imagine not. Speaking of alcohol, we didn't get to that. So my favorite alcoholic drink is alcohol. If you put it in front of me, I will pretty much drink it for the most part. If you put Blue Moon in front of me, I will slap you in the face. That shit is disgusting to me. I'm not a big IPA guy, period.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm a domestic guy. I always have been. I will say this. I prefer liquor over beer. Big margarita guy.
Oh, yeah.
Long Island iced teas, Blue Motorcycle, all that kind of stuff. Used to be real big on tequila sunrise back in the day. Trash cans. I'm drinking my share of those.
I like mixing tequila with lemonade. That's freaking delicious.
I don't think I've tried that yet. I'll try that. Now, speaking of the Rocks tequila,
I have a couple bottles of that.
Dude, it is the smoothest. Like I can drink it straight and it doesn't burn or nothing. Like,
yeah. That and the one that George Clooney at least used to own, Casamigos.
I'm going to try that one.
Literally a little bit more expensive than Terramana, but just as smooth.
Cool. I was a rum guy for a long time, too.
Whiskey tequila for me when it comes to liquor.
Yeah, well, it's funny because, like, if I drink white liquor, like, I'm super happy and want to love everybody. If I drink brown liquor, might get a little bit angry. Might get a little bit, let's fight. I don't know. But,
all I know is I get told when I get, like, drunk, like, when I'm sober, I can, other than the podcast and stuff, I can be kind of a quiet guy. But you get me drunk, I'm like, my wife has literally told me she can't get me to shut up.
Well, I'm like that naturally. So I guess when I drink, I'm worse. I don't know. I will tell you a quick story. Speaking of drinking, because this is Drinking at Most. I'm not proud of it. Not saying the kids should do it, but I got booked for a show. It was one of the first shows outside of my home promotion when I was young. I wasn't drinking age though. We pulled up to the venue and it is someone's front yard and it is a birthday party.
Oh.
And there's like 10 people and no one has told me this. And I look at my buddy and I'm like, look, I don't know about you, but I'm going to have to be drunk and do this shit. This is crazy. So we go to the little corner store down the road. We get friggin' 12-pack, 24-pack. I don't know what it was. I proceed to go out to the ring, pretty blasted, in the pouring down rain, and get into a Royal Rumble. That was a lot of fun. Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah, that's that. And then there was a time where me and my buddy were a tag team. We were Hill Team. We had done some dastardly stuff the show before, so we were suspended for the next show. So we bought tickets, sat in the crowd, drank, and heckled.
Oh, man, I would have been having the fucking blast.
That didn't turn out too great either because some truths came out that, when you drink, what is it they say, a drunk man's words or a sober man's thoughts?
Yep, something like that, yeah.
There was quite a few opinions that came out about some people that I didn't realize came out, and that caused some heat, and whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, honestly, in this business, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't.
Yeah, it definitely can
like,
be that way.
If you're too nice to people, then you're being overly nice, you're being creepy, you're being this. If you don't talk to nobody, then you're standoffish, you're an asshole, so people are going to make their opinions about you based on, they've already made their mind up about you. What's worse than that is they'll hear about something supposedly you did or said from somebody who they feel and deem to be trustworthy when they're not, and they just go along with it and believe that person.
Oh, I got a story we'll go into off camera that
okay.
Let's just say I had some of that.
Yeah. But you know what? I've learned at the end of the day, man, people are gonna make up their opinion about you, and there's people that's gonna like you or dislike you no matter what you do. So do you. Be yourself.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I feel now. And I mean there's probably promotions I'll never work for again for various reasons. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay. Honestly, like I used to want to be on the road all the time. It was last year I did 145 matches, I think it was. That was including this in the middle of all that. Never missed a match. You know what I'm saying? You're talking West Virginia, Tennessee, Virginia, North Carolina, like all over. And like I just don't. I mean, if it makes sense and it works and it fits my lifestyle, my schedule, and more importantly, my family schedule, cool. But like, I don't need to wrestle just to wrestle anymore. I don't need to do every single show. So if I sit home for 2 or 3 weeks, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I got a life outside of wrestling, but I have grand plans this year. I've already got my first ever show booked in Florida, January 10th, for Pope Elijah Burke.
Mm.
Yeah, he runs the Love Alive charity. They do shows, I think, like once or twice a year. It's this big battle royal they're doing in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm super excited about that. Potentially going to Mexico this year or next year. Potentially going to Japan next year. Potentially going to Canada next year. Nashville, Tennessee, Vegas. Like, there's a guy that used to wrestle around here, and his whole thing was #NotLocal because he lived here, but he wouldn't wrestle. He'd wrestle all over. And I'm kind of getting to that point,
Yeah.
But and people's like, well, it'd be nice if you could wrestle at home. I mean, yeah, it would, but like I've wrestled here for so long, and this new, like the new generation in Carolina, like sometimes I feel like I don't really fit into it. Their whole style and the way they are and the way they came up in the business as opposed to the way I did. It's like there's a divide or something, you know what I mean? And it's nothing personal. It's nothing against anybody. Like anybody, I don't care who it is, whether you like me or you don't like me, I will always respect you for lacing up a pair of boots or shoes and kick pads, whatever, and getting in there and busting your ass in that ring and entertaining people. I will always respect you for that, And that's just how it is. Just because somebody doesn't like you or doesn't respect you doesn't mean you have to feel the same way.
Oh, yeah.
But I will say this. I support who supports me. Like I see guys all the time sharing Facebook this and posts, and this guy's looking for bookings and that guy. But like, I'll do that a couple times. But if I feel like I'm not getting the same in return, it's like, nah, like I'm not, you know what I mean? That maybe that's shitty, but it's not. It's how I feel. I think in life there's two things. There's you teach people how to treat you. Because if people treat you a certain way and you continue to let them, guess what?
They're going to keep
as my sister calls it, you promote what you permit.
Mm-hmm.
And also, you've got to stop expecting yourself and other people. Mm-hmm. Just because you would handle a situation a certain way or you would go and be up and beyond for somebody, if they don't do it for you in return, then you know how to move with that person from now on. You know where they fit in your life and in your circle. Doesn't make them a bad person. Doesn't make you better. It's just you know who to spend your energy on. Because that's one thing I've done that I regret is I've wasted so much energy over the years on people who never deserved it. Who never returned it. You know what I mean? And I'm to that point now where it's like, dude, I don't do anything. I sit at home. I go to work. I spend time with my family. I work out. I wrestle. Like I don't normally go out with the boys or whatever after the shows anymore. I spent years doing that, which I mean, I will say this though, a lot of that depending on the situation and who's going out, it's about making connections because that's one thing I wish I'd have learned. And people tell me all the time, or ask me all the time advice. And what do you suggest somebody do when they first get into business? Make connections. That's where it's at. Don't sit back and expect your trainer or your buddy or whoever to just push your name out there and say, oh, you need to try this guy. You need to do this. No, do it yourself. Talk to these people. A lot of them are really nice. A lot of these like higher promoters and like some of these names and some of the indie guys that are really high up, they're really nice and helpful. Some of them aren't because they're looking out for themselves, but that's life. You know what I mean? But yeah, you have to make connections because it's not, I put a thing on Facebook recently and it's the truth. It's not about who you know, but it's about who's going to say they know you. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Because if that person's not willing to vouch for you and say, yeah, that kid's great, give him a chance, or he's a stand-up guy or whatever, then you knowing them is kind of worthless, you know? And it's crazy because it gets frustrating because the fans will come up to you and they'll be like, man, you're incredible. You should be everywhere. You're a great heel. You should that. And I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. I love all of that.
Oh, yeah.
But telling me that is not going to get me anywhere. You've got to tell these promotions. You've got to tag people. You've got to go up to them and say, hey, why ain't Sean Cryise been on your last 2 shows? We want him back. You know, that's the only way. Look at what happened with WWE and R-Truth. He was gone. And people lost their minds. And they brought him back. it works. It's the power of persuasion or whatever you want to call it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like I said, I appreciate it. Every inbox message I get, every comment, all of it, I love it. But if it's not getting put out to the right ears,
Yeah.
then what is it? It's
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
just dying before it gets to where it needs to.
Oh, yeah. I totally get you there. Now, where can people find you social media wise? So if they don't already have their eyes on you, they can go ahead and get them there.
It's Sean Cryise on Facebook. I don't know what the exact link is on that one. If you type Sean Cryise, you'll see me. There are some fake ones out there, so make sure it's the right one. I've had quite a few clones. It's is it at real Sean Cryise? Oh, at official Sean Cryise on Instagram. I'm still trying to remember what my X is. I think I just changed it lately. But if you type Sean Cryise in, you should be able to find me. Also on TikTok, I think it's Sean Cryise 81. But if you type in Sean Cryise, you should be able to find me.
All
And of
right.
course, I have stuff on YouTube, Sean Cryise Wrestling.
Oh,
I
yeah.
need to put some updated stuff on there. But,
Oh, yeah.
laugh, you can watch my old stuff and laugh at how terrible I was. You can do that.
And we'll get all that in the description. I want to thank you for taking the time to talk to me tonight. It's been an absolute blast.
Absolutely.
You well going into 2026. I know I've already got a pretty big start going. I wish the same for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Mo. It means a lot, man. I've had a blast as well. We got to do it again sometime.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You're welcome back anytime. Now
So,
I can just try to figure out the thing with this fucking button. They had to go and switch the